and welcome to another Phase 5 Phonics video. Now last video we finished the first part of Phase 5 and today we're going to be starting the second part. So rather than look at a new sound today, we're going to be focusing on the endings of words. Specifically, we're going to be thinking about how we turn words into plurals. So when there's more than one of something. And normally we add S, and we're also going to be looking at when we need to add ES as well today. So a little bit different, but very similar to what you're used to. So let's get started.
Okay, we're going to start things off like we normally do and like we did in the first part of Phase 5. So you've got some words here, get your fingers ready to look for some sounds. The first sound I would like you to think of is the K sound. So 10 seconds, see if you can find the K sound. Right, let's have a look. Where is it? There was a few options. You had track and spec, and the K sound was being made with the CK, and in desktop you had the K being made with just the letter K. Okay, next one. Can you find for me the sh sound? 10 seconds, off you go. Where did you find it? Let's have a look. You could have found it in shampoo, shelter, or shelving, and that SH making the sh sound. Okay, last one. Can you find for me the X sound? The X sound. 10 seconds, off you go. There was two here with that X sound. We had lunchbox up there and gift box as well. There it is with that X on the end making the sh sound. Okay, let's talk about what we're thinking about today. So today we are going to be thinking about what happens when you have one of something and then you want to make it into more than one. So over here we've got a star, and over on the right here we've turned one star into stars. Now how do we write that? Well, it's quite simple. We start with our word star and we just add an S on the end. One star, many stars. And for lots of words, we just add an S on the end to make it more than one. But not all words are like this, and there are some words where we don't just add S. Some words we need to add ES, and it's words that end in these sounds. Sh, z, x, ch, and s. These words we need to add ES because it wouldn't look right and it would be difficult to say if we just added an S by itself. Let me give you an example. This is the word bus, and you can see that, look, it ends in an S, and the S sound is one of those sounds that needs this ES ending. So to make one bus into buses, we add ES, buses. So what I want you to do, because it's really important to be able to remember the sounds that we're thinking about today, the sounds that when they're on the end of the words need an ES. So I want you to pause the video here and have a go at saying all of these sounds along the top. And when you've done that, see if you can cover them up and see if you can remember what all of them are. If you need to have a little peek, take your hand off again and see what you're missing. But try and get to a point where you can remember all of these sounds that when they're on the end of the word, you need to add ES. So pause here, cover them up, and have a go at saying each of these sounds. Great, so hopefully now you can remember all of these sounds and know that when you see them on the end of a word, you need to add ES. Time to have a practice of that. So, for this first one, I've left the sounds up there for you. And you've got 5 words here, and I want you to turn these words into the plural, so as if there's more than one. And you need to decide, do I need to add S or do I need to add ES? So click pause, write down this word, and then just like I did before, do an arrow, and next to it, do the word but as a plural with either S or ES. Click pause and have a go at that now. Great, let's have a look and check your answers. So you should have a list that looks like this. And actually with all of these words, they all end in one of these sounds that we looked at. So they all need an ES on the end. Coach becomes coaches, dish becomes dishes, fizz becomes fizzes, box becomes boxes, and boss becomes bosses. Now notice with boss, even though double S isn't up here, it does end in S and it ends in the S sound. So that's why we've added ES. Okay, well done on having a go at those. If there was any you didn't quite get right, now's a really good time to pause again and just write the correct version next to it so that you know for next time. When you've done that, we'll move on. Okay, you've got another list now, but now I've taken away those little clues from the top, and you need to remember which sounds on the end of the words need an ES and which need just an S. So have a go here with this list, click pause, and have a go at turning these into a plural. Fantastic, let's check your answers then. So this first one, bin, becomes bins with just an S because bin doesn't end in one of those special sounds, so we just add an S on the end. What about this next one, buzz? Well, yeah, buzz ends in this Z letter, the Z sound, so we do need an ES. That was one of the ones we looked at today, buzzes. What about the next one, fox? Well, yeah, fox ends in one of those special sounds, X, and so we need to add ES for foxes. The next one was flash, and again, sh was one of those sounds that we looked at today that needs an ES on the end, so flashes. And lastly, we had apple. Well, apple ends in an E, but the last sound we hear is the U sound, and so we don't need to add anything other than just an S on the end, apples. And you can see there that actually we already form this ES on the end because there's already an E. So well done on having a go at those. Again, if there was any that you didn't get quite right, then pause here and write out the correct version next to them. Great, well we're going to leave that there for today. We'll come back to these endings later on in the week and we'll have a look at some new ones too. For now though, we'll finish there.
Well done today. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Well done for starting off the second part of Phase 5 so well. I look forward to seeing you again for the next part soon.